sorry, what's the date, the 20th?
Yes.
All right, this is the meeting of the Hubbardston Parks Commission. Today is Monday, May 20th, 2024, and we are opening the meeting at 5:34. And in attendance is, we'll do a roll call, Sandra Berry here.
Jesse Alexander.
Joshua Tenpenny.
Eric and Boris.
Okay, great. So this is our whole commission because Amanda Donaldson did resign, and that we discussed at the last meeting. So, are you here from the public, or are you just here from?
I'm here.
Okay.
I try to attend as many different things as I can, and this is convenient because I was here anyway.
There you go. So,
Perfect. Yeah, you gotta be here for the select board hearing, right?
all right, so there's no one here from the public, so we will move on from there. Minutes from our last meeting, I don't think we had a quorum. I don't remember. I'll have to go back
No,
and
we
look.
didn't. It was three of us, right?
Was it three? I don't
Yeah.
remember. It was
It was,
like-
yeah, I think
no,
it
it
was
was,
three
it
of
was
us.
Jesse
I
and
know
you
I
and
wasn't able to attend, and they said, oh, that's okay, we have a quorum.
Okay. I just don't remember. I have the notes at home and I did not write up the minutes. So, we can table that for now and just address it next time we meet. Okay, does anyone have any problem with that?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So, the budget, let me pull that out. My printer was on the fritz today, so I was kind of behind. So, let's see. And this one is for you.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. Now, this is, I know you just sent out, Nate had just sent out a new one, and I didn't have a chance to look at that, but this is from last month. So I have written in some expenses that we've had, and, so that will tell you, where we are at. So on the first page, are you looking at page 76 on the bottom
Yes.
corner? Okay. So, Parks oversees a number of accounts in town, and the Parks and Rec revolving is the account that we use for any donations that come in, for any fundraisers that we do. This money stays in this account. It doesn't have to get turned over at the end of the fiscal year, so it's our money to use it as we want. So we did, at the last meeting, it was discussed that we did not have enough money to have porta potties till the end of the year. There's just, the budget's just too tight. I've asked about more money, there's no more money, so we had to make do. So it was discussed, seeing if the soccer, Hubbardston Youth Soccer and Hubbardston Youth Baseball, we reached out to them and I asked them in an email, do you feel comfortable if we only have one porta potty? Because we could have done one. And I said, would you be willing to make a donation? Or would you want to contract and get your own porta potties for the season? And so they wrote back and they said, we just don't have it all under one contract, why don't we make a donation? I suggested a donation, but I said they could donate whatever they wanted, which was $20 from each. And they both were very good, and they both sent us, Hubbardston Youth Baseball and Hubbardston Youth Soccer sent us $200, and that has gone into the fund, the Parks and Rec revolving fund. The $200 went in like 2 weeks ago, and then I got the second one just this week, and it just went in today. So we would have a total of $400, and that will help us to resolve getting the porta potties paid until we get our new budget, which will be July 1st, okay?
Great.
So yeah, they were really good about that. And the way that works in town is because we are, technically the way it's been explained to us, it's a state park, but it's managed by the town of Hubbardston because it was built by the Army Corps of Engineers, okay? So state funds were involved and what have you, so we cannot charge a fee for people to use our
Usage, yeah.
parks. There's no usage fee, cause it's a state park, technically. So, but we can suggest a donation, we can, tell people, yeah, but you need to supply your own porta potties, you know, and that's why we have the whole field request. And I know some people in the past have asked, like, I don't have to ask a field request up at Felton Field. Okay, well, that's a town-owned field, and so ours is just structured a little differently. So, that's why when people request that, they have to complete that form, the field request usage field, and that's on the website, to give the dates, and they have to provide a certificate of insurance. And it can be a one-day insurance, it has to be for $1 million, and people do it, it's only $50-$75 to get that one-day insurance, you know, depending on what your activity is, but that's what it is. And so if out-of-town organizations wanna use our fields, they have to come up with that, okay, so we have to be a little more structured, and it protects the town, so, is how that works. But again, it was really nice that Hubbardston Baseball and Hubbardston Soccer both, donated the $200 to get us through the end of the year to pay for the porta potties. And I did send them both a thank you note for their donation. So that's our, like I said, a revolving account that has $400. So the next account that we oversee is the Hubbardston Recreation account. And that is down to $125, and this is the money that the town gives us every year, and they give us $2,500 to run the park. And that's down to $125. It costs about $210 for the porta potties every month, so we just didn't have enough money. But like I said, we were able to, resolve that, and we'll be able to have enough money till we get our new budget on July 1st.
The porta potties are $210 per month for the two of them, thereabouts.
Yeah, it's about that. I actually think it's like 205 or something. I don't remember exactly what it is. Okay, and we do porta potties from April through October, so it's actually mid-November. Now that they moved the, daylight savings, they've pushed it out a little bit, so soccer actually goes a little further, like 2 weeks further. So, so that's pretty much where that money goes. The other account that we oversee is, and I will say that we did discuss that at the last meeting, I do recall that we discussed that we would ask them for a donation and
Yes.
give them the options of what they wanted to do, so I didn't just do that on my own, so that was discussed. The next account we oversee is the Charlie Clark Corner, or it's known as the Information Center. And that account has, $115 maybe left in it. So, that was Millennial Park back in the 2000s, that was built there, and it was a fundraiser. They raised money to, build that. If you ever go at the information center, there's all those bricks, and it was a brick fundraiser, you bought a brick. And, that's how they raised the money. So I think after everything was said and done, they left $1,800 to maintain it. Since 2000, we're in 2024, that committee fell apart years and years and years ago, and it got thrown on parks to maintain it, which is fine. We don't do a lot to it. We decorated at Christmas, we decorated for Memorial Day, 4th of July. We've had to have some small repairs done to it. We put electricity up there, so for the Christmas lights, we could plug them in, light them up, cause we were running electrical cord, like from the fire department over there. It just wasn't a good idea after so many years. So years ago, we did put that, electrical box in there. So, we just recently, I just purchased flags that Jesse and I are gonna put up tonight after the meeting, new banner flags. So that account is down to about 115, so that's that money there. But again, that money is specifically used for that Charlie Clark Corner Information Center.
Which page is that one on? I just wanna make
That's
sure I
on
read it.
49.
Okay, so I have the wrong one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, that's, there you go, okay.
Oh, did I have them mixed up with yours? So now on page 118, this is the Hubbardston Community Park Fund. So, when the park was established, I'm gonna throw out 1985, whatever, what happened was, the businesses, or some businesses in town, left a trust fund to maintain that park. And while, Ted Curtis was alive for all those years, he would approve how the money was spent. That, a lot of that money, so there was $50,000, which was really nice back in 1985, half of that money went to building the walking track. So they donated the money for the walking track, and that walking track and the skate park all went in at the same time. So a good chunk of that money went to that. It's been used over the years for miscellaneous things that we've had to repair. A lot of it's the irrigation system. We did use some money when the basketball court got built, because we ended up being short like $5,000 to complete it, so we we took money from the account to complete that. That was like in 2014. Needless to say, that account is down to $2,800. That's all that's left in that account. And, well, let's talk about that. So those are the accounts we oversee, with the exception of the Hudson Preservation account, and I don't have that with me. But that is an account, it's kind of shared by Open Space and Hudson Recreation. It can be used for recreational purposes and open space purposes. So last I knew, there was $13,000 in that account. And that account comes from the hayfields at Mount Jeff. So when Mount Jeff was bought, there was a contract for timber work to be done up there. And then there's haying that goes on every year, and the money from the hay goes into that account, and how that account gets used up. I think some money recently came out of that account, maybe last year, to do some work for open space up on the Malone Road Trail or something. But, you know, we both use it here and there. Parks oversees it.
Oh, yeah, wasn't it invasives control or something like that?
Yeah,
I think that's
they,
what it was, yeah.
invasive species, and
Yeah.
they needed pesticides and all that. Yeah, that
It was
might
like
have been the last
knotweed
time.
and bittersweet, or, I think that's what it was, I seem to recall.
I don't know, I thought you were
Yeah.
drinking a beer.
Oh, no, it's just, a seltzer.
Oh,
a very
wow,
casual
okay,
meeting.
that's a casual meeting. And the boss is here.
It's the best seltzer you can possibly buy,
There you go.
in my opinion.
So, so just to say, the money is available for recreation as well as open space, and we, basically very courteous back and forth. Like, we've never taken money out of it without letting them know, you know, and things like that. And they come to us and say, we need money for this, so, you know, we all work together. I don't think anything's ever been turned down, because it's all basically for the better, or be the open space or the recreation. So, on the agenda, when we're talking about parks maintenance, I'll just talk about the irrigation system at the same time. So this irrigation system is failing, and it's failing miserably. It's 25-something years old. The man who has maintained it all these years retired. He's gotta be 80 by now. So, I guess we need to make a decision about the irrigation system. So, Parks went to the town last year to get money to replace the well, and we were turned down for the money. And the well was like $8,000. We have $2,800 in this account. So it's not that the system isn't still working, it's working on a Band-Aid. So I guess I just need to know, or we need to decide as a committee, number one, if we're gonna open it this year, we need to find a company that's gonna open it, because we don't have that service anymore from White Turf. Number two, do we wanna make that a priority? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if it's a rainy summer, you don't need it.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
a dry summer, the fields dry out.
I know, so far, and
It's-
grass is in amazing shape, but we've had a lot of rain.
It is, so I just don't know, what do you guys wanna do? Like, do we wanna hire a company? So usually we hire a company, this company before that we used, White Turf. It was like $250 to open it in the spring, as long as it ran fine, nothing really needed to be, fixed. $250, they'd run, call him in the wintertime, in the fall, he'd come and close it down, another $250. We don't have that.
Which is dirt cheap.
Which is dirt cheap, and that's why we stayed with this guy for so long. He was so good to us.
Yeah.
And, so, I don't know what we wanna do. I mean, we have $2,800, so we can call and say, we can keep it running until the money dries out, but I just don't, it's a flip a coin. I don't know what to do.
Can we,
It does run.
can we, like, just wait and see what happens? I mean, do they have to open it in the spring, or could they
No,
open
you can
it
really
like
open it
You
anytime.
can open it any-
July, say?
Yeah,
you-
that's kinda what I'm thinking too,
Yeah.
Jesse.
Well, you
That's a
can
good
do
idea.
that, but the whole thing is, if we don't have someone lined up to do it, then come July, if we get in a hot spell, which is fine, then we gotta see if we can get someone to come.
Okay.
That's my concern, is if
I
it's
mean,
in the,
opening it's pretty. I probably shouldn't say this, but in a former life, I was a landscape and irrigation guy, and opening you really just like turn the valve on and
Yeah, I was thinking, like, how
test
hard
all
is
the
that,
zones.
right?
Yeah.
So you gotta go through all the
you have
zones
to go
and
through all of it, yeah.
check all the heads, make sure they're, spraying, cut the right coverage, and because sometimes frost messes with it and other
Mhm.
stuff. But I mean,
So I don't know if that's something you wanna take on, or if that's something we wanna hire out. And I don't mind waiting till July, I'd like to have a company lined up ahead of time.
have some, yeah,
So
have
we
a
can
backup
say,
plan.
hey, can we call you in July,
Bless you.
God bless you. This might be their busy season, and maybe in July they won't be as busy.
Oh yeah, this is
Because
super
right now
busy.
they're
Yeah,
probably
everyone's
really
opening
busy,
their systems.
so,
yeah. It might
we-
work in our favor doing it that way.
do it later.
Yeah.
And usually we don't even need it, usually the other guy used to come July first, and I'll be honest, cause we usually didn't have money to pay him until we got our budget again. So he was really good about coming July first,
Right.
so,
And if it's a rainy spring, like if June continues to be rainy like May
Mhm.
has, then we'll be, well, and obviously we don't know that. So
Right.
Yeah.
it's,
so do we wanna try to get, and I will throw this out too, I actually have a friend who works for Wild over in Holden, and he lives in Rutland, and I'm sure if I called him like, hey, can you make sure we can get on your schedule for July first, I'm sure he'd do that, I'm sure we'd be
Mm.
able to get their services. But I don't know if someone wants to.
we need a quote though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll find
Yeah.
out how much it is, and if people wanna investigate, other companies, we can do
Yeah, I
that too.
think that's a good idea. We can check with them and maybe at least one other.
And see what their,
Yeah.
I mean, I can check with him and find out, what their price is and how much it would be. I don't know if people wanna call somewhere else,
We should get one other quote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any like landscaping companies in town that would do something like that?
I don't know if they do irrigation.
There's
What's his name doesn't do irrigation, your neighbor there,
Keith now.
Keith, I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, he just does. He specializes in hardscapes mainly.
So
Yeah,
this-
my girlfriend has a guy that does hers. I'm trying to remember what the company is. I could ask her for his info and then
And he's local.
could. Yeah, I think he's out of either. Might be out of Rutland too.
Cause the guy we used for years was out of Barry, so he was local, so.
Yeah.
So do you wanna talk to her and maybe
Yeah,
see
yeah.
about
Why don't I
getting a
do that?
quote and-
I'll get his
Okay.
info and then we can.
And I'll talk to Wild and I'll see about.
And then if he
seeing
needs
that
to,
one.
we can always just have him, go up there and show him the system. It's a pretty simple system.
It's a pretty system, but there's 18 zones.
Right.
Yeah, so it is pretty massive, cause it goes all over that big soccer field, all through the, baseball
Yeah, the
fields,
ball
the
field,
two
baseball.
fields, and then
It doesn't do
part
the
of
third
it.
field though, right?
Doesn't do the third
Yeah.
field, yeah, but there are 18 different zones on there, so it
And what about,
fit
does it do
well.
the soccer field, the one on the right behind
No.
No,
No, it doesn't, so the one right behind the playground
Yeah.
has no irrigation
right,
in it.
that's what I figured.
So, but, alright, so you'll do your
Yep.
girlfriend and I'll do Wild, okay?
Mhm.
Other than that, in regards to the park maintenance, we have a wonderful senior work-off, person. He was available last year. His name is Bill Doan. And he loves cleaning the park and he
that's
qualifies for the
awesome.
program. So he started that back up, I want to say the week of, school vacation in April. So, and he knows that he's gonna stretch his hours to go to the, end of October. He's really good about doing that. But truly, it's vacation and summertime that it gets really super
Yeah.
busy and messy and, when the weather's really good. So that's really good. He, removes the trash, he picks up the trash and he removes the trash. So, so that's,
Yeah, I just went for a walk up there the other day with my daughter and they look pretty good.
yeah, good,
So.
good.
I sent the guys up there once too, because a couple of people sent in photos, so.
Of what? Oh, the trash?
No.
Trash, yeah.
It's probably the same
By
time
the-
that I did.
Oh, yeah.
At the playground or?
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
playground.
Was it in the playground or was it up at the,
It was in the playground, kinda.
I wonder if he hadn't started yet. Cause
Probably.
actually, I had him start the week after, cleanup day, Hubson cleanup day.
Yeah, it was a little
So,
bit before.
About that time, yeah. Well, and what I find happens is the public's pretty good, cause some people will go and they'll pick up trash, they'll put it in a bag, and they'll hang it on the fence. So if I go by and I see that, I'll stop, I'll pick it up, and I'll tell you, any clothes that got stuck up there more than a week, I pick it up and I get rid of it. Like, if no one's picked it up right now, I'm tossing it. And that's what I do. So, oops, sorry. Nope.
Hello.
Okay. So we'll take care of the irrigation system, and then we'll meet and decide who we're gonna go with, after we get the information, but our date would be July first is what we're aiming towards.
Yep. That's the goal.
Alright, and also, baseball and soccer, they kinda get done around the middle of June, so that'll be kinda perfect, and it's almost middle of June, I hate to say it, 3 weeks away, and the grass is pretty good, so, that's good. So, Jesse, you wanna talk about the townwide yard sale?
Yeah, so I talked to Claudia at the senior center, and they want to do it again with us, I guess. They didn't last year, but they want to this year. And we picked, I have to find a calendar, cause I don't know the number, the 28th, September 28th, as the date for the townwide yard sale. And they were going to sell maps, like we used to do the paper maps, I guess, and collect donations for parks.
I actually saw where someone was having townwide yard sale, who was it? It was a local town, and they were charging for the maps,
Yeah, I saw that
$3 a
too.
map.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Was it Rutland? They
No,
have
Rutland
those?
does a big thing, but in Rutland, you have to pay to get on the map,
Right.
which we've done in the past, and then after a number of years, it kind of went by the wayside, cause everyone piggybacked the date of the townwide yard sale. So then we went to people coming to the senior center to pick up the maps, but we had a big donation jug right there, like, make a donation for the map, so, yeah.
Which
So
is
we-
kind of a good way to do it, 'cause it's,
Yeah. And sometimes I find if you don't put an amount on, people throw in more money, like, okay, we're gonna charge $1 for a mouse, but I'll give you $2, you know, so.
Right.
So, yeah, and in the past, we've been successful with making $300 or $400 from that, so.
Yeah.
It's a way
It's a
to,
good way to generate some income
Little bit of
for
income.
for parks.
so Jesse's gonna, spearhead that, and that's gonna be September 28th.
Yes. I'm gonna need some assistance from you on like advertising and things like that. I don't know what
Fine.
we did before, so
Sure.
I follow the same.
I post it on the town
Process.
website and,
Yeah, and we'll put in the Berry Gazette and the Gardner News. You know, it's kinda what we would do. Worcester and the Worcester TNG, cause they were pretty cheap, and they'll do 3 days, you know, so. yeah.
Okay.
And when you sign up for those, when you put it in print, and it's like $25 for paper, they put it online and in the paper, so it's covering
Covers it
$2 yeah,
Okay.
so, but yeah, but that's fine, and then we put signs up around town, you know, ahead of time.
Next year would like to look at June, but this June it came too fast and
Yeah.
wasn't gonna happen. So I think if we wanna do it again next year, then we should plan in Saturday a date in September, a date in June
Mhm.
to get it on the books before it's already
Yeah.
full.
Yeah, and usually, you know, we would figure out, cause what we would sit back and watch is, you don't wanna compete with the local towns, you don't wanna compete with Westminster and Barry, that you don't wanna compete with them. So you kinda sit and you look on their websites, when are they doing it, also you don't wanna have it with graduation weekend, you know, so it's okay to wait a little longer, but, you know,
Yeah.
when you've gathered that information. But, yeah, but great, I'm glad you're doing that, and that, they're
yeah,
gonna do
prom
it with you.
weekend,
all
that's
It's
coming
so
up.
busy.
It's so busy,
So
May,
busy.
June, yeah.
Yeah, June 1st, my son's got prom.
Oh, nice. Okay, so my next discussion was park members, and it sounds like you guys were talking about that a little bit ahead of time, which is fine. So you were voted in last year, is that
Yes.
correct, Joshua, for 3 years?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, and you were appointed,
Right.
so your term ran out. Your term's running out anyways. In
Mhm.
my term, I was appointed too. So, I did not pull papers, you did not pull papers.
No.
I will continue on parks. I don't wanna continue as the chair though, and so I think I'd like to motion that Jesse become the new chair. And that can go on all the websites and everything as of, you know, like July 1st, and you know, everything's being switched over, however that goes. So what I would just ask of you guys is when you go vote, write me in, write Eric in. I got enough friends in town, I'm sure I can, you know, have people write me in too. And I
When does
think,
that happen?
when is the town?
June 11th.
That's the election?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
All the
I,
info will come out tomorrow.
the info will?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna sign the warrant this evening.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So, So like I said, you can do it as a write-in, and who knows, maybe other people will actually wanna be written in too, and we'll get more write-ins than us.
There's a variety of things you can be written in for.
Oh, there is,
Oh, yeah,
I
there-
know.
there's quite a
There
few.
are more things that you can be written in for than things people are running for.
So anyways, other than, that, I just want to throw that out there, is there anything else people wanna talk about?
I had one question. You have a concert, the Blues Jazz concert.
Yeah.
I was gonna reach out, I found out who the,
Oh, Mr. Cam?
the, ice cream truck is that
Oh,
goes
you
to
got that,
school,
yeah.
so I was gonna get that information as well.
Okay,
If they don't charge, any kind of fee and they'll just show up and sell ice cream,
Mhm.
shall I just go ahead and say yes, show up at the concert, or?
they can, but I think they have to still pull a permit.
And there is
Yeah.
a young lady, her name is Maddie's Ice Cream and More, or something like that, getting a common vic license and a hawker peddler license tonight to sell ice cream in town. So there
Oh.
will be two options at the very least, and that is not the one that sells the boozy ice cream. 'Cause I know a lot of people are kinda indifferent or about the boozy ice cream.
She's not doing the boozy
She's not
ice cream?
doing
Oh,
the
that's
boozy
good,
ice
'cause this
cream.
is
Yeah.
geared towards
We
kids.
yeah, we don't want the boozy.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
so can we-
that
So
sounds
we
like a
don't
terrible
want that
idea.
one.
Yeah, no,
Can we,
but I can.
can you give her my contact information or what
Yep.
have you and have her contact us? I mean, how do you feel about that, Jesse, if she's gonna be in town anyways? Maybe we can just have her come that night? At the park.
But the thing is, she doesn't do the little, like SpongeBob, she does actual scoops.
Scoop ice cream?
Yeah.
Either way, we can find out, if that other one
Some
charges.
kids really like the SpongeBob and the.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know, I guess we'll have to just ask them both, see if
Ask them
they're
both
around.
and see if they're around and see if they charge or don't charge to come.
Okay, but they have to pull
They have to have a
permits.
permit. She would have to pull a permit to be here that day.
with the
Now, let
Board
me
of
ask you,
Health.
with Board of Health, yeah.
You
So,
only need a common vic if you plan on coming in, like that Maddie woman plans on like driving around the
Neighborhoods?
neighborhoods and checking in on the park on a random Tuesday night.
Mhm.
For that, you need a couple more inexpensive licenses, but just to go to events, you would need a food truck license, and I believe that's $25 from the Board of Health.
yeah.
Okay,
So my question is this, what happens if we have this other woman coming, then would that woman know she can't come to the park that
Ice
night?
cream
Or
truck
could
fight.
she come? Well, that's what I'm
Ice
saying.
cream truck
Well, that's
fight.
what I'm saying, like if we had this one person that you're talking about, and can this other person come and encroach on her that weekend? Or it could, because she has the right to do it, right?
She does have, if approved, she does have the right to do it.
Public
And
property,
whenever-
right? So-
Whenever she wants,
I
yeah.
would hope that they would be respectful on the
Okay.
ice cream truck turf war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food truck
it's getting
turf war is
exciting.
They can.
Okay, so
All right.
I will ask, well, we'll see about this one.
Yeah,
I think that was really the only thing that was on my mind.
anything else?
Flag.
No? Would someone want to motion to
Come to
adjourn?
my stress
I make
party.
motion to adjourn.
No.
I second.
Why?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.